Hello all you beautiful people out there, what is going on? This is your friend Brit coming at you fast for another Paragon tips and tricks video, and today we are going to be talking about the #1 mistake that every single player makes while playing Paragon. I guarantee you every single player, even all the way at the tippy top, makes this mistake. Now, the higher you go, probably the less often you make this mistake, because making this mistake less often will help you win more often, but still, everybody makes this mistake to a certain degree, and right now you're seeing me do it, and that's hesitating. The biggest mistake that any player can make is hesitate, and it could be in any shape or form. Here I'm showing you a lot of examples where I'm hesitating in team fights specifically, but it can also be from rotating from lane. Okay, you want to get the last hit on the minion, it's going to take you an extra 2 seconds. It's just 2 seconds, my team will be fine. And then you rotate, and right as you get there, the rest of your team dies. Maybe those 2 seconds would have helped you save your team's life and actually turn the fight into the other direction, but here I'm hesitating to help my teammates and go in. I finally decide to go in because I see Greystone's ult is popped, but it is to no avail. The rest of my team does show up, and I am making this Sevarog hate his life alongside with Sneaky, making him look like a doofus. But then I jump on Suki. I don't hesitate there. But I hesitated earlier when he was in the midst of all the confrontation, causing me to die, causing the second frontliner, aka Greystone, to die, and causing us to lose that team fight. You might not even notice the moments where you've messed up until you go back in hindsight and look over it in theater replay, which is why I stress looking over your games in theater replay to make yourself look better. Not make yourself look better, but make yourself play better by looking at all the things you did wrong and improving on it. And that's why it's the hardest mistake to correct, is because it's really hard to notice. You usually want to blame your teammates, and I mean, I'm pretty sure 95% of us do blame our teammates for not thinking the same exact way we think, as if we're supposed to be part of a hive mind or something. But that's just not the case. You have to understand everybody's perspective and understand that everybody has different viewpoints. Now this kind of gets nullified when you're on comms and you're with the team, but especially in solo queue, it's really important to have confidence and not hesitate. Maybe even if the thing you're doing isn't the best, if that's what you're going to do, at least be confident in it. Don't be wishy-washy, because if you're wishy-washy, you're not going to do either or well, okay? So, here I'm being chased by Suki. I think we're getting out of that team fight. I look at my map. We're not getting out of that team fight. I'm like, oh boy, oh boy. But I don't hesitate. I don't go farm, and I don't wait for them to back out. I stick with my team, because that is the mob mentality, and we actually fight in here, and we are able to get out of here alive all together now. Maybe if I didn't go into this team fight, that Sevarog might have hurt my teammates. Maybe if I didn't come back here, Suki would have had a lot of health and didn't have to waste his blink shot to escape. There's a lot of stuff that go into it. Even if you don't get a kill, that does not mean that the team fight is lost. We traded right there, traded Rampage for Wraith, and I made sure that Suki's blink was down and Sevarog got really low, so he had to back as well, which allowed me to then take his jungle, as you see here. So there's a lot of little things, a lot of chain events that can happen even if you don't get kills that can result from hesitation. Now here's a really blatant example right there. I'm like, oh shit, it's Suki! Wait, is he all alone? Shit, I should have fucking jumped on him. And that's, I mean, if I had a nickel for every time that shit happened, I'd be goddamn rich. Let's look back at the situation here. Maybe if I did take that risk, and Paragon is a risk-reward game. If I did take that risk, maybe we would have actually won that team fight, and we could have made a play out of it, because if you look at the map right now, there's 3 of us and 2 of them. Then there becomes 3 of them, but 4 of us. So we've always had the man advantage from the very get-go. And if I did not hesitate and just kept running at Suki and leaped his ass and kept slowing him down, then perhaps my teammates would have caught on and helped me, but perhaps I might have been bursted down too quickly. So, what could have been in hindsight? It's always 2020. But here's the thing, guys. Hesitation. The more and more you play, the more examples and situations you'll be thrown into, and the more times you'll be able to look back and be like, maybe I should have done this and maybe I should have done that. The way to get better at this is actually applying those and seeing what could have happened, experimenting with these things. So maybe let's say you're farming offlane one time and there's a team fight going on in your jungle and you don't rotate, and then your teammates die and whatever, and then they start spamming good job. You know how it goes. Next time you play and you're caught in a similar situation, forget the minion. It'll always be there. You don't need a last hit it. Go back and save your team's life and rotate to objection. Rotate to objectives, and then maybe win the game, such as getting prime and then pushing towards towers and inhibs. And if whatever you did worked, then keep doing it. I'm not saying that you doing the same thing over and over again is going to work for every game. Obviously, you're going to have to analyze every situation, and that's just the beauty of MOBAs, because every time you play, it's always going to be different. It's always going to be different. But what I'm trying to say, guys, is that everybody makes these mistakes, and it's very important to evaluate your own mistakes before you evaluate other people's mistakes. And the number one mistake is hesitation, lack of confidence. We're going on this core, but I see Sevarog, I see Suki. They're trying to kill my carry because he's dealing a lot of damage. I do not hesitate, and I stun lock Sevarog, giving FaZe enough time to pull our carry away and giving enough distraction for the rest of our team to get that core. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you learned a lesson here. If you did, drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure I have a wonderful day. Peace.